Right, here we go. Last time around we were messing around at Provident a little bit. We did some big changes here. Let me zoom and have a quick look around and see what we did and didn't do here. Biggest thing is obviously we got rid of the big walls. The walls are gone. And then we had to spend a little time putting a few things in place to cover up some unmovable light source. Extra selection enabled. We did have sort of like a ranch vibe going here. So we'll probably continue with that. Then, if I have a quick look at the map, we're located sort of kind of smack bang in the middle. You know, middle-ish even, maybe a little north. This is like on the way to Bunker Hill, so it's more of like a rest stop for people. And sort of like the ranch vibes. So we have the little trading post here already. Should be positioned up nicely. Trade caravan post, and then there's the existing NPCs set on ground stuff over here. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a rest stop, so we will get a little bit more security and we'll get more fencing in. But I didn't like the big concrete walls. Doesn't really fit. Like a little bit of the water production stuff down here and a little here. That looks pretty good. Fishing and like down there as well. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of the war stuff today. The buildings themselves, we've kept this as a general trader and a clinic combined. The preset stuff that's in there. We'll have residential, and residential. I don't think we need much more than that. We don't need specialist traders. Like I said, it's a little stop on the way to Bunker Hill. That's where you'll be doing your main trading. So if anything, that'd be what? A little bit fishing based because they're right on the lake. How flat is the area? We're also just around the corner from Tappington Boathouse, Tappington Water, so we have that to put into mind as well. So maybe the two of them working conjunction. I don't know why the boat's just not work. There we go. So yeah, we'll get some water barrel stuff here as well. It's nearby to that. We were being very specific with the fences and making our own. So let's continue on with that for a little bit while a few more people tune in. Welcome to those tuning in. Howdy. Yeah, this bit's just a little too low. So if we raise that up just a little bit. I want the fence tops to be like... I mean, even these are probably a little too high thinking about it. I'll come down just a little bit. Okay, so posts down by 5. That's down by 10. Game is here, howdy. Yeah, then we have the shift. Oh, well. Oh, no, we're making a mess. Right, fine. Got that there for now. We'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah, at this point, it really needs to raise up the ground shifts. I guess I could try and rotate the fence to an angle. I'd rather just continue on straight. Have it go up. Let's get that horizontal bar in. Yeah, doing well, Damien. It's better just to shift this up or build on top. There we go, that's about the height that I want. Gradually goes up. Looks a little, little jank maybe. About the same sort of height around. Have this going around there. Could realistically build all the way up to the road edge. I think I'll have some bits over there, but defense-wise, it's pretty much just going to hook at the houses. My settlement such a building. I'm going to try and move my cafe and shop on 7600. Nice. But I'm just stepping around in the Fallout 4 one. Covenant is now like a stopping point for the other settlements on their way to Bunker Hill. Should I rotate with this one? Let me make sure we got the right cheese. And snapping off. Try that again. Snapping back on. Goes today, yes. I sell Coca-Cola coffee and go fishing, nice. Might do a lower one on these ones. Like right near the bottom. Rotated, they won't go all that way. Go to that. There we go. How is that? Hider. I selected the wrong post, yeah. Column 256. Column 256. It snapped at a different point, that's why. I'll move it over manually. Off buried, there we go. I'm not going to delete the house. Maybe I'll have to go up a little bit actually. No. Good. We're doing the whole fence again. Just this last time. Bits and bobs. 5 hours. Yeah, and then I think hit back down this way, down to here, rotate, and then we'll just follow around the houses. Oh yeah, we'll move the workshop there. Trying to decide where to put this wooden tower last time. Realistically, it needs to be somewhere nice and open. Did I remove or move the NPCs like the lemonade robot? They have been removed with bullets. Yeah, I had to clear them out. A bit of garbage on these. A little bit more garbage. I could have left them and maybe tried to do the build around them, but I feel like it's better suited to have a fresh set of people here. And tie here. Anything else to collect? Just ties all over the place. Get these brought in. We'd have a little walkway to that, surely. Get the bridges. I've mentioned this in several of the build streams, Damien, but obviously not everyone's here for every episode. But the plan with these settlement builds is to then export the settlement with... where is it? I don't know if it's actually this, but you can make blueprints. People upload them to the Nexus. I like that beneath retainable. Yeah, a little rickety shack looking thing. Write it down a little bit. You've used a few blueprints for Starlight Drive in Section 48. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think it's a nifty little feature. So, I mean, kind of taken the long route with it in terms of I haven't hyper-focused on one settlement with on between several. So, at some point, we'll hyper-focus on fixing up one fully. I actually got started with Starlight Driving, and I haven't really touched it since. I think that's fine. Check the tower. Obviously, we'll have to connect that. Probably going to try and connect it to the telephone poles that are here, because you can't remove these because the cables don't go. But posts themselves you can. And I have a nifty little mod on which adds custom connectors, which might not be in this menu. Our connectors. Here we go, telephone pole. Can't see what type they are. Doesn't need to be the exact same, but it better if it was. So, like, this one here. Again, as long as it's roughly the same. It goes into the ground. Rotated a little bit. Oh, no. Right, wait for that to come back around. Wow. Modern's here, howdy. Catch it, there we go. I don't know, some of the elements just spin on their own. They don't make it do that. And match the angle roughly. That's probably going to be the closest we get. Usually build a trading settlement or raid arena thing in Starlight. Yeah, I've gone down the trading settlement one for that one. With it being quite flat. We'll probably potentially have a look over there today. I don't know why that spins when I select it. Did we get rid of that? I don't actually know why they are spinning when I'm selecting them. Wow. And then just try and get it so the cables match up. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. Like, who's looking there in that detail? But increasing the size help. One slightly thicker ball. Yeah, I guess because this side's missing one of the transformer things, it's fine. Have a look. Does it look like from the ground? I guess you can see a little bit. Guess if we're gonna get really over the top with it. But place. Let me just where does this actually connect to? Is it this thing at the bottom? Oh, where's the connection there? That's terrible. It's a terrible connection. Right down at the bottom. Wow. Yeah, we can put these on. Vertical. Just about 5 miles out where it needs to be. Let's increase. Bring it down very specifically placed here. Thank you for the continued support, please. Howdy, howdy. Connect those to that so it looks like there's more wire. Do the same with these. How are we doing today, Blaze? Yeah, a little better. Still a little jank. A little better than what it was. I need to find a nice way for it to connect to this. Set. Game. Okay, you got a connector. One of these. Connect it to that. And bring it up to the top. We should have the connection out of the top. Makes more sense to me. And we'll connect from there. It's currently 3 AM for you. I assume you've stayed up and you haven't got up late. Got up early even. You have one of those there. Have one of these on the post. That today you're gonna reach. It's gonna be reach is fantastic. There we go. That's all linked in. Good. We'll also get one of these over here. This has no function. It's decorational. So that's going to clip through there. So maybe not on this one. Maybe over here. And this one's going to be too far. No, that one fits in. Just make it look like it's all looped in together. Oh, spaghetti wires. That's with us 11 power. Probably need a little more. Some of that's this, which we need to get fixed up. Water sorted. We need a little food production here. Which we'll have a little for the fish. Where that is. Right, we got fish cleaning station, so I need a little bit of a bigger platform here, or should I have the fish cleaning actually in the settlement? I'd put 2 of those down that look the exact same. Might be in CVC. There it is. Fishing chair. Well, imagine sitting next to that. Jesus. We have a very strange butcher. Like, what even is that? Just a chunk of concrete. It'd naturally sit there. I thought it was going to be like stick onto the floor like that. I might put that on and then maybe put a table in its place. Prop planters. I have no idea where the front of this technically is. So yeah, I would imagine the person stands here. But I don't know. Well, like, I don't know why they thought meat on some random little concrete thing and an ashtray. Stuff like that I'll have to test when I get a settler in to see where they stand. But, yeah, I think I'll get a piece of furniture in its place. we got here? Something like that, but not that. Yeah, even that looks better. Can even raise that if we need to. Shame about the little brick stuff at the bottom. Let's move that across. Oh, I guess then we can see it again. Right, table's gone. We not got something that's a little better counter stuff maybe. There we go. Oh, trying to hide the concrete slab as much as possible. Yeah, just a couple of cabinets instead. And then a little patchwork in the front. Wallboard. Surface snap off. I need this going to the ground, please. I'm just going to put a standard wall in. It is corner cap, I believe. That. Shrink it down. That bit's going to poke through. That's going to be a bit of a problem. More of a flat. And none of these are flat. That. Shrink it down twice. There we go. You can see it at the back. That's fine. Just the same. Right. Guarantee that the animation will be completely broken with it. We'll see how it goes. Right, so how much food's that gonna be? Couple for that, couple for the fishing, 3 for this. Said we're getting planters for all the houses rather than just like a big area for crops. I should probably put a little bit in that to those. How small these are, it's probably just gonna be carrots or corn. Right, 1, 3. Rotate these around a little bit, make it stop. About 3 planters here. Got a tub, bed, and a bathtub. feel like we can put a moot fruit tree in the little tub, but I'm gonna shrink it down. Little moot fruit tree. I feel like melons and pumpkins are kind of a waste of space. Go for 3 in there. A razor grate in this bit. Down. Take it around. What's in the tub? There we go. I need to go see. Okay, well, this place, I think what we'll do is we'll focus on a house per house basis. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of this because we have one of those chairs down at the Fisher place. NPC paint, well, we'll leave animations like that in. Say, godsend. Honestly, the inside, I'm not going to change. We got, what, 4 beds, a double bed, table. Yeah, I think the inside decoration for a lot of this is already done. So we got a little tree there. Rid of the garbage. Yeah, this is now never going to stand up. So get rid of it. Get rid of it. The doorway here opens straight up to the outside. Right to the front. So they'd want access to the back. Maybe a few more crops at the back. Saints here, howdy. You're in Oakland. It looks exactly like Fallout 3's DC area. Wow. Many super mutants knocking about, Saint. Chair at the front. NPC kneel and hammer horizontally. Yeah, it's going to make this area a hell of a lot easier to work with. Having half of it done already. We have the steps there already. Do we need this? Maybe maybe this in place where the plants are. Try that. It's quite high for it now. There we go, just so I can get to plants. This can probably go down a couple. Everyone here's a troglodyte from the pit. Everyone except for you, Saint, I'm sure. Still got those lesions. That's nasty. There we go, just a little shift just like makes you walk. Yeah, sure, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I like how these show. Bring this all the way out. There we go. There we go. This one's kind of floaty. Go give it its support. There, probably get something in there. That's alright, Saint my dude. I guess walkway wise, I should probably have it lead all the way around to a full strip, like we're in Yeehaw Cowboy times. Let's work on that. Probably best to do all the flat bits first. I guess with a bit at the back as well, Jesus. Here is it's slightly different elevation. One thing I may put in that aren't giant walls, thinking about it, is the privet hedges. Rather than doing this this fence all the way around. Let's do that. Thinking about this. Just need to remember where it is. Definitely have the option for privet hedges somewhere. Pretty sure I do anyway. There we go. Yeah, because it's like pre-war, they would have their own gardens. Oh, we'd take those out. You gotta be careful with that clicking, Saint. Get you all into a whole manner of trouble. We're just clicking indiscriminately. Make this look like the back of the houses in Sanctuary. A few privet hedges even. And full fence will do. Nice, some of this junk as well. Put it on the outside. So that's the side of that house. Go for the smaller bit. Have a little bit of a fence. Because then technically this is the garden. Well, chocolate bags. Wow. Move this into play over here for a second. We'll leave the trees. Okay, so privet hedge would probably split naturally. This has got more of a sunroom. These are just two little windows, so probably like this. Look in. Probably start bringing it in. I'll reposition properly soon. Come back through and add the fences and stuff in a minute. I think you probably just have a fence between those, thinking about it. Those there, we're gonna have the privet hedge right to the edge. This back house. Leave a couple of gaps in. Wrench it at the front, hedge it at the back. Right, smaller piece. But then we'll probably picket fence a little bit. Go for one of these here, actually. Probably this way. And we can do a tree. Which I'll get in afterwards. Edge down here. More. Get a lot of the junk. What's this over here? Because yeah, it would collect on the outside, clean up on the inside. For Sophie, where do you want these bushes to go? I mean, probably just along the full perimeter now. Thinking about it, maybe leave a little bit of a gap. Definitely along the full perimeter here. But then we have a tree in the way as well, so... rotate those round. Tell me nosy here, howdy. This is perfect. Tree like that. All well. All is good. which is in place. Probably go start curving around a little bit. One of those. And a bong, yes. Early stream today. Schedule's all over the place for today. So there may be streams, there may not be streams. But probably going to be this all day now that Adam Paul is done. Get rid of the sapling. Just need to get that final episode up on the second channel. Just waiting for edits to go through. This opens a massive space that really use. Yeah, anyways, that's fine. Feet to there. Should leave a little bit of a gap here. Bit of shack roof that's in the way. Let's get that there. We're going around with the picket fence. And with one of those. Leave this bit quite open and then we'll fence over to that. Again, because of the sunroom. That bit quite open. Game time again. There we go, much better, less red. We have green picket fence. Might be nice to do it a different color. We've got brown, pink, tan. Well, I mean, the sign is blue and green, so green might work. Not that you can really see that at the minute. Doesn't need to be too much of this, but just enough that you can tell that the hedge is overgrown. These will probably be better ones to place, think about it. And then we'll just go around with the single ones in a minute. Out. We got musics. That there like that. And that to there. Add this into the ground. Put that there like that. Gotta make it look realistic. Now we can go back through with the posts, just a couple of spots. There we go. That was a pre-war picket fence, overgrown. Very century inspired. We have a gap here. I don't know if I necessarily want the gap, so we'll patch it. Doesn't need to be anything fantastic. In fact, as basic as possible would be preferred. There we go, patch that with a little stick fence. Get stuck in the windmill, very good. Now we can finish up the other fence. Get that sort of rustic farm feel, ranch feel, whatever you want to call it. The wood. Snap it on. Snapping on, please. I move this correctly. Well, rotate one piece, goes all out of whack. Go for the shorter one, maybe. That up to there. Need one here as well. Yes, we do. Need to be further than that. Very good. Nice and enclosed. Same to this bit. It should... I mean, we might need to make one more hedge. The angle that I'm going. I don't really want to change the angle another time. Maybe once more would be fine. Let's see, if I just do it like this and then put the other bits in, is that going to be... So, go to there, then we'll change the angle. Make sure it's on the right-hand side. Estimate rate is... They don't need to be the exact same. Weird if it was, but... approximately is fine. This. I rotate at the wrong angle. And again. About there. Snapping off. Yeah, that'll work. That'll go to the bush. I just need a smaller one. Snapping on. a little bit. Let me select it. There. Small beam. Small beam. Oh my god, wow. Okay. There we go, fence done. We got our wrench looking fence at the front. That might be a little too straight. I reckon we should rotate a little bit more. Have gradually go around. It'll be massive pain, but it'll look better. Yeah. I think we're okay for now. If it bugs me too much, I'll change it, but it seems fine for now. Move that to there. Probably move the water well. Okay, it's going to be a massive undertaking here. Considering we've already built a load of it. But I'm going to rotate this. Sweet Jesus. So we'll have the first two being straight. I mean, I say a massive undertaking. Not really. Not when we're doing it like this, anyway. Wow, after all that, just getting rid of that. Yeah, a full 2 length for each piece, I think, is enough. And small piece for this, and then we'll just move the bush around. Move the bush so it connects pretty much to that. Snap in on. Side. Need to raise up and just rotate things around. Just if they're a little off. These ones are fine. It's a little off a little further along. Mainly this one. That bar's a little further back than the other one. And we're in. Raise that up. We'll have a look from above, see if that looks better. That really didn't take that much time. I thought it was going to be a lot more painful than it was. I need raising. Move these this way. I mean, it's such a little change, but having it go around like that, rather than just two sharp corners, I think it looks better. Do let me know if you don't think it looks good. Because from here, yeah, it's like, I don't know, aesthetically more pleasing. I like to do something same this side, but small area, I don't think it matters. So yeah, let's move the water well. Like a water well in the center is probably going to make sense. Next to the tree doesn't really make any sense because of tree roots. Probably why I didn't put it there to begin with. Let's have that away then. We'll have this up over at the side. Side of the house. Up halfway going to it. Who's knocking on the door? There, drop it down a couple bits. I never really got into the building in 76, Damien. I mean, I never really got into 76, so that kind of the reason why. Do you have much issue with the whole, you know, in this where it would highlight around red and you can't place items? Is that a big issue in 76? We'll bridge across to that as well. Like, I can't use the build stuff now without place anywhere. We're really gonna do a sequence like that. We'll just rotate it. I don't want it to clip through into the house. Some places can be a pain. Yeah, just kick the bucket all over the place. To be fair, bucket near the well works. Right there. Making wall. We have that connection point. We need to join it Dune. Yeah, this one. Reflect. There's another one. Move tree ever so slightly. Right, these gotta go. Too many of them, it's clearly obvious. There we go, much better. Same here. That to that one, there we go. much of a hunt log cabinet. So in terms of the base, is it making it, Damien? If you were to make a base, I know you can get griefed a little bit. Could someone come along and just like straight up destroy your whole base? Your whole build, whatever you want to call it. Have a middle ground here with a little pallet of some sort. Just to block it. Yeah. Angle on this is real weird. Real weird. Is that in the house? No. NPCs sometimes attack like those. Search. Haven't had players do it, so yep. Because I don't do PvP. Down to here, connects to that. The point of doing the walkway around to the back, just doors. Okay. Along the side of the tree. I mean, unless there's a mechanic in it that essentially allows you to just rebuild what you had before, just costs you some materials. You spend so much time making something to have it destroyed completely. There. Bees in a minute as well. Getting sidetracked doing this wooden platform because things are in the way. There we go, I just need to rotate this slightly. Maybe the angle one's going to be better. Around to there. Post in the way here. Scrapper sort of rebuild connections, power up and stuff. I mean, I don't mind that so much then if you could just rebuild, but need to do it all over scratch. I reckon there's going to be some kind of build mechanic like this in next Elder Scrolls. Yeah, ramp for this one, I think. Then lower it. Jeremy's here, howdy. Box is tucked in a little bit more. those in. Zero boarding and settlements in the new games. Wouldn't mind if it was in, but very, very small focus on it. Like, I know they had the Hearthfire stuff with the personal houses. I'd like to be able to build one settlement, like one fort or something like that. I always think of like the Helgen Reborn mod, where there's like a big quest chain and you help rebuild Helgen. Something like that. Another fort needs your help. Let me mark it on your map. None of that garbage. How are we doing today, Jeremy? Need to rotate ever so slightly. There we go. Sim settlements. I mean, if they don't, quote unquote, rip off some of the sim settlements mechanics, I'd be very surprised. Damien knows. Go to that. The rest of it's fine. Just mainly doing a little walkway between the houses, and I would need to cross here. Because I wouldn't be walking through the dirt all the time, otherwise there'd be no grass here, there'd be nothing. It'd be a sludgy, dirty mess. A rotation. Yeah, that seems fine. Get another little supporting or two. Nice, Jeremy. If that goes well. I'm gonna patch it for 10 years. Yeah, imagine it. What a time to be alive. Imagine it. Okay, so we have this huge open area here. I see the were crops here before a little bit. We might put a little bit of that in. Extra room for more housing if we need it. Now let's get this junk out of here. We don't want any junk in the settlement. is usually the part of the stream where Rocky shows up and tells me to save. So I'll do that. What? There we go. Oi, oi, lads. Have we thrown a save? That was not the best area to start that. What a weird little trash pile. That there. You mean how it broke everything, Damien? Oh my god, this bird. Leaves and stuff can stay, that's fine. Right, we've got any junk left. I don't mind little planks like that, that's fine. Bricks and what have you is fine. Big garbage piles. Garbage piles appear to have gone. Probably going to move the workshop once again in a moment. In fact, I'm going to move it right now. Out of the way there. Not easily accessible, whereas I think here is probably a little better. Maybe ceiling on wall. We'll have to get rid of that. Just a little bit. There we go. Workshop now lives there. Red exclamation mark weapons and ammo. Stamp them to go new weapons. Wow. Snap again, please. A little step up to it there. Maybe one that you can finish with the enclave stuff that they added. I haven't checked out any of the stuff that was added. Is any of it any good? Anyone that's done it? I think closest I've got to checking it out was when we were messing around doing zombie stuff last time. Some of the spawn areas had enclave and I had to mess around behind the scenes to remove it. It's going along nicely. I feel like this walkway would naturally move into something here, so let's have a think. I mean, the easy go-to would be whoops, down here on this front bit. We have the trading post stuff out here because that's where it naturally sits. I guess making it a wrench and being a stopping off point, that would just be your standard stop off while they trade down there. Maybe with the fact that I was planning on making this like an impromptu bunkhouse, B&B, whatever. Maybe we actually make this specifically for Brahmin. Actual wrench. So let me move that over here for now. I'll find a more suitable place. Yeah, have this section here for storing of Brahmin. So, continue on with this then. Probably bring it in just a little bit so there's still space. Act on there. Probably then fence around. Probably this edge of here and put a fence in. Put some spots for Brahmin. We do the same again. In terms of by 2, how far is that? Fine. It's just a big Brahmin pen, I think, for this bit. Have that bit as the entrance. I'll fence it up and then delete the bit where I want it to be where the Brahmin go in. Bring the Brahmin in. That should come into this bit. Just need to decide if we need 1 or 2. And that'll be enough space for Brahmin. I need to bring that fence up again. Probably start rotating it around. So get rid of these. Yeah, that'll be enough, right? We only need to get 1 in at a time. Add a bit more than what it is on each side. It keeps trying to snap that out a bit. And we can just start rotating. Then we'll grab that. Snapping off. So probably rotate there. Manual placement sometimes. Massively off. So it's aiming towards the corner here, and I'll just do a half. That's incredibly off. Better. Can never have, like, we have slightly too small, massively too big. So we'll go with the bigger option, and then just down the side of the building. Like that should be fine. Going it off. Nowhere near as much as what we were in the previous one, which we are. They're about right. Snapping on. And that's still enough space to get down to the workshop if you need to select it. Way. Go. Oh, so we've got this last little bit to do as well. You know what I'm put here is like a little shack that covers them, rather than being just out in the open. There's not enough space. The idea that you can just look out and see the Brahmin. Now, yeah, but we can raise this one a little bit because it's actually higher. And then the smaller one's probably gonna fit fine. You actually have snapping on. I don't know why it's snapping. It's not as long as... Oh, it's not as long as it needs to be. This is the wrong post. It's fine. We'll do it the other way. I mean, we'll just shimmy that along just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. That's that bit blocked off. Kind of sort of Brahmin pen. We get a fence up. I'm gonna have to use a custom fence. I'm looking for a gate, really. So if we go down to the in here, it was not in there. On this fence, there we go. There was a gate in here. Fence gate. I mean, like if it was there were thicker posts. How does this open? So, okay. Is that gonna be enough for ramen? Can I increase it? Oh. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna look jank when we open it? Maybe a little bit. And that's fine. I just slapped itself shut. No, we don't need these in here. Those can go. Save time. Alright, Brahmin, we need several tubs. We had, let me see, some down here, I did. CVC, Brahmin, feed hay. Right, we need to find more of that. I have no idea where that is. Decorational, maybe? This is why I wish there was a copy and paste function. Alright, well, first thing, we need a couple of these. This also contributes to the water. Don't know which way the front is. Probably have these, like, middle. I'll have these on the flattest part. I think it's that way. Inclined to put it that way instead. But the problem is either going to stand here or attempt to stand the other side, and if I do, I'll just swap it over. And hold for that. To be fair, I know it'll end up being a little jank. Might be worth putting a bump next to that. You know, it looks like we're actually pumping into it. Well, we're here actually. Ramen free trail. I vaguely remember there being one of this where there is hay inside already. I'll put these ones down for now. And then if I can find the other one, I'll get those in their place. Yeah, I think 3 will be enough. Any more is a little overkill. We'll get some bushes and stuff in here as well. CVC, Brahmin. Hey. A decorational. Oh. Oh. I would have hazarded a guess it would have been in resources. looks like we can't find that for now then, so I'll have to figure out where that is. I'm gonna spend 5 hours doing it on the stream. But I'll get, eventually, this hay. And, like, fill in with that. What I'll probably put in here as well, the Deadlands. Trees, fungus, plants, grass and leaves. I mean, we could put some of this stuff in it. It's about the right height. You know what? That actually works. Let's fill it with these. There we go. All feeding spots. As for the rest of the stuff, we'll just pop some of these down so it doesn't look as plain. There we go, just makes it a little less flat. Anything else that's going to work with this? We have leaves. These are going to be a pain to place because they're just flat. Logs. We do need to get logs in. We'll have this in multiple ways. I have a couple of the privet hedges with the little dip. So get a couple of these. Put that there. I can move the rock. Stump in there, so that tree's off. Make sure it's hitting the ground. I don't think I'll do that for every single one of the privet hedge that has got the little gap. Then it's just going to look like the same thing over and over again. But I think with this being right at the front, the brooch, see that's down. You've got the fences, brambles and the stuff here. We could probably get a little bit more of that in around this area. Trees. The trees clusters. What the trees like in this area. Got a mix of the greyish looking ones and the yellowish ones. Out within those bushes there. Make sure they're at the correct height. Cluster next to those. And going back to the leaves that I said were going to be hard to place. Back side of these. Move that up a little bit. We then have these little tufts. On the side of the brickwork. There we go. I can find the trader's welcome sign. Back of these breeze blocks is going to be the best spot for those. It's come together nicely around this corner. And we'll probably have pallets there as well, maybe. We do need to get a different solution to this rather than just the generator slap down. I'll keep the construction lights again. They need to be there because of the light sources that show up nighttime, which I'll show off now. That too. So for those that missed the previous episodes that we're working on this area, these lights on the floor, they are there permanently. Same with the little one that's here. So we're going to put those in place there to cover them up. It illuminates at night. So what other generators have we got? Small generators. Out. In here, work better. Big old windmill stuff. I'm thinking more this rather than that. Is we have. I mean, we could just have the battery next to it. Little table, maybe. Let's produce 2. This needs 1. Yeah, just a little battery next to it. That works. There we go. Infinitely quieter. The fire's making more noise now. Okay, so this is probably where we'll have... Considering we've got the lights in between them anyway. We will have the decorational... Find it. Create some boxes. Anything that's been delivered here. We'll just put here. Barrels is another good one, so... Let me... There's a few things that I think I'm going to use with this. And I can just grab them rather than being in this menu back and forth. We don't need Mr. Handy Box anymore. The user's no longer here. Alright, so we have all of those. There's arrows that we can do as well. And if we're going to do any, they're going to be the blue ones from Taffington Water Place. We've obviously got Spaces Deco, I think it was. It's in garage. And none of that. There are no... We got a tank here. Closed bathroom. Go. I don't think that's the exact one that I was on about, but that'll do. We'll have that there. Couple of other pieces. Pallets. This will go nicely against the back of that. barrels and boxes. We don't want those. I won't necessarily use all of these. Right, okay. Okay, let's get stuff signed. Oh, that could also be over that way. This being breeze blocks and kind of flat will tie into this, if possible. If it works. Might need even more of a flat area than what we have. Kind of segments it off a little bit. Get that. Yeah. Make sure that it's properly hitting the ground. The barrels are floating. The barrels are floating, and now the other bit's gonna sink. So what we'll do, make it show that the wheels are flat. We'll have to come in and put something underneath it. Maybe a pallet. Wood, miscellaneous, bridges. Yeah, we've got the pallets. It's a little smaller. Yeah, the tie's propped up against it. The barrels are on it. Don't worry about that one. Get a wooden barrel there. Right, that's that bit done. Pallets here, so with the fact that we already have a pallet, let's potentially put those there. Of a flat-ish piece. There. I guess the pallet's kind of floaty. And across a little bit. And across, and across. Maybe we make it so the pallets do that instead. That makes more sense. Okay, well if that's there, we'll have the trader's welcome sign here. Kind of clipping through the floor there. Rid of this. Bring it back behind this broken piece of highway. Means that can go. Using the pylon stick, it's kind of in the crate. We get this so that it's not in the crate. Barrel's technically floating a little bit. Get down. Raise the sign a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Barrel. Just to block that area a little bit. With all these water barrels, there is a piece that has a pallet with several of them on. And that might be a little bit too overkill. That's more needed in Taffington. These, however, dotted over the other side. Where's that A flat piece, this one. Probably have this here. I did the parrot's pallets buried as long as everything's flat. So with our own one, we've got more boxes. Alright, we need to have this one that's leaning pressed against something. Went to Lego together here. Alright, have that box pressed against the pallet. Which... Can you let me grab the battery, please? We'd probably put the battery on here. We are buried a little bit too much. Bring that right up for now. It's up. Floating, so there. Battery back on there. No worries, Damien. Then putting that there makes these construction lights a little less just floating out in the open, doing their own thing. Definitely need some of these in here. Then we'll have a few of these bits making their way in. That. Let's see what we've got left to work with here. We've got 2 barrels and a box. Find an area where to put that fish stuff as well. Again, I feel like it makes sense to have this stuff hugging around the posts. Just saw something floating then. I think it was just a bird. If we do it like this, it's going to sort of tie the whole area in together. Goes in. We'll have basket. We'll have basket. I'll have box and box over there. Is that all the assets that I slapped down used? Okay, I mean, I could probably even put more in, but that looks great for now. We have, let me zoom out. I'll work you through my showing. So main trading post there. Add more storage on the outside there that's not really being used by anything else. It also ties it in with the construction lights, so they're not floating. Naturally, there'll be overfill onto the other side. Then pop down on the edges of the posts so they're, so it essentially encloses this whole area. So you know that this is still part of the settlement. One or two bits that have naturally made their way in. Don't need a better way down to this. We can get to that. Let's say save. Save. We have a clinic, general store there, but no one knows that they're actually here. So I need signs here as well. Back to the post, maybe. We've got a slightly smaller clinic one. Booze. Act onto there like that. A different, every different angle. They're too big. I mean, I think I'll probably go for smaller ones. I think they stick out just a little too much. They're really not a clinic one. All the way to the right. I find it really weird because all the mod alpha needed to do was like scale things up. Probably going to be that one. Okay, we'll do those then. And I guess we can get to these ones. Very evil. 8, so that's smack bang in the middle. So if we have that there. There. Go. Welcome to Covenant. We have a general trader and a clinic. Both in here, very good. To approach the settlement from all the available paths and see what it looks like and see if we're missing anything or if anything needs adding. Ta-da. Okay, coming down this way. First thing you see those houses there, you've got your windmill. You need to fence off a little bit. Maybe another trader's welcome sign or some kind of signage on the side of this. Go in. Oh, little pathway up there. That's all fenced off. Got rocks. This area needs some bushes or trees. Not that. Go for the clusters again. These ideally not clipping to each other. Go for single. Trees done. Plants. Yeah, we'll get some plants in a minute. What we got? Any of the pile stuff gonna work here? one of these here. Just like a natural sort of don't go this way. This way is not the way that you meant to go. Goes next to there. Within the trees. Big sketchy bit. Put these down a few times. These are great. Oki's in the chat. Oi, oi. How we doing, Oki? Okay, do you know that the first time that I saved in this, I thought of you when I did it? My Oki save reminder. I'll give you a little tour in a second, Oki. Just to cover this area a little bit. Yeah, that naturally blocks that bit off a little bit more. Probably do with a rock or two. These types. Getting some food. Nice. We have indeed, with him keeping up with the saves. I need to do another one. We've just been continuing with Covenant. Right, so yeah, I want to block this off a little bit. Just maybe it's on the side, nothing too crazy. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of tiring. There's already tires there as well. I don't know if I like this one. Black might be a little bit too much. Let's... Collection of tires there. No, we don't need the big tires. In and amongst a load of little ones, though. You know, I will put here actually. Have to CVC. There was one with a car that I'm after. Follow there. So there was a busted up bar next to it. Right, let me throw save in and I'll show what I've done for those that weren't here at the start. CV, yes. Alright, let's have a look. So, if you remember last time, Rookie, we just got started with the fencing after fixing up all the light sources. I have done that around a little bit to the front, then again a little bit around to here. And then what we did at the back of the houses instead was get the same sort of hedges that are over in Sanctuary Inn to show like the back of the house gardens. We put a little bit of the destroyed fences in there because it's all overgrown. Did that all around the back. Need to fix that gap. We've then added a little temporary walkway between all the houses so they can all connect in. Goes across here as well. This also leads down to the well. We then had this huge space here, which is now a Brahmin pen. So people bring Brahmins in, stay over, put the Brahmins in here. It's a little bit more work. And that's pretty much it. And that's taking me like 2 hours. Just getting into more of the outside decorational stuff. And figure out the best way to sort of connect these two things in together. Because we put in the makeshift here last time. This big hill. Again, if we're going to be going up and down this area, there needs to be some kind of walkway that comes around this area and probably naturally to here. So let's get working on that. I'm thinking, I mean, I do default to the bridge stuff quite a bit, but it just works really well. So I'll probably have this, considering it's almost the perfect angle. Plugging this little hill. And just have that going up like this as a very rough... I'm going to say very rough. I just put a little change to it. You're going to be doing this IRL. Nice. There, we get a little bit of the flat one. I need it really going across there, but bring that across. Change the angle ever so slightly. Right down. Have that raised. And then we'll have a set of the stairs in. But you know, you're actually going on this. But here's a little sketchy. Down. Down. That should connect. New land, if you tiny home to be moved in. I was interested for that sort of stuff, Jeremy. I watched a fella a few weeks ago on YouTube cataloging renovation of some old cabin in the woods. That was really interesting, seeing all the little components that went into it. There's nowhere really to do that here in the UK. Not to that sort of scale, anyway. Well, this looks nice and secure. Looks a bit wonky without supports. Oh, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, Erky. Look at that. We're getting supports in right now. You're going for the commercial. There we go. This fella should get some supports in. And meanwhile, during the commercial break, we're on the middle ground. You're hungry for boigers. I like how it hugs the little cliff face. Comes in a little straight on this bit, so I might change that up just a little bit. Curved bridge. Yeah, let's change this up just a little bit. Keep it going curved all the way around. Little garden gnomes. I think at some point I will find where the asset for the little garden gnomes is, and then just go and put them in all the settlements while I remember where it is. Maybe get a little bit more of a cliff side here. Yeah, we'll keep it going around. Appropriate. A little bit more rounded than what it was. Not by much. I don't think we'll need the stairs were that way. These roots have got to go. Get rid of the concrete bit. Have to place this on top. No, I don't think they are. There's definitely an asset for it. It's probably in CVC gardening. Would be where I would check first. Right, so that comes naturally down to that. One or two of these in. One. So while we're here, we'll have a look at CVC. Oh, smaller pieces. Piece. This is more what I was after. A little bit more of a decorational bit to it. The rocks coming out. There we go. So let's cut down most of the trees around the settlement field to fire. Yeah, I mean, it probably would. My only issue with taking a lot of the trees down is the area looks a little too flat and plain. It's purely a cosmetic thing. Change the timing. Got a little bit of dirt that goes across it there. That's fine. Down this. Okay, so one of the big things that we haven't tackled here at all is security. We haven't put anything in place. Obviously, we took out all the turrets that are here usually. So security-wise, we need to get a couple set in place. Probably going to have some kind of little shack here where security can see around all corners. Probably a turret or two. I don't want to go over the top on the turrets. And then we'll have some like standing guards. Why is the music going? Bear me 2 seconds. No. Oh no, I understand that, Jeremy. I do take feedback and stuff like that into account, because I know sometimes I'll get carried away with things. Hey, we've got Trader coming in now, so we can see how it looks when they come in and sit down. Live observation. I think where we would have security. Where we'd have security, where we'd have turrets. What are we going to fall under, actually? The gnomes might be in here. No, but we have cornflakes. Better is that. Right, so they sit down in front of the fire as usual. It's kind of a little in the fire. So I may just shrink those down a little bit. Let's shrink the fire down, make it real small. So they're not sat in it. Like I wouldn't stop people from walking down this road. Fence. Guard posts, guard outposts, chairs, mats, NPCs, and then other. Paper. I assume they sit in the back and read the paper. We could have that along the road. Okay. Yeah, I assume they sit on the back with their feet on these concrete blocks. Now, would that be there with the barrels there already? Probably not. So move it ever so slightly. That, however, is a little bit more believable. The rock. Change the angle. Yep, it's then another sort of natural way to get you to go to the entrance. Yeah, I think they sit here like that. That's what? Wow, 2 defense. Wow. I guess it is just going to be a guard sat in the truck. 2 defense. Jesus. I will put a guard dog in here. Should just roam. Hope it doesn't just default to go into one spot. But dog. There we go. Guard, stand, warm hands. Get these in a couple of times. Warm the hands at the barrel. A barrel would also work. It's kind of small. Why is it so small? Got these around and then settlers. Miniature privet hedge. What is this? Oh, that guard wastelands. Yeah, not really the sort of builds that I do. Guard box. Get a guard box. Why is it guard mat? Have that over here. Covers. Oh. Down, so it's just in. Yeah, I think it makes sense to have a guard stood on the other side, just like keeping an eye on stuff over here. I think if I assign a guard to the mat here, they'll move around all the other spots. Someone stood here reading. They're about 250 to 500 all the way around the settlement. He's up past that range to hide the settlement. No need the guards, just for a few dozen turrets. I don't like spamming turrets down in my builds. I'll get 1 or 2 in, and I'm going to do some now. But I don't like just spamming a load of turrets. Standard ones. I'm gonna go for the other style as well. Just not a massive fan. Where can we slap this? Vert pole that's part of the sign, maybe? That work. Raise it up a little bit. Get to the left. That's the sign. One more. Make sure we're not clipping through the front. Kinda just float in here. So let's try and get it 100% into the other post. Alright, what do we have? We have laser. I don't know what the difference is with that. Laser, free shot, machine gun, free shot. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a standard laser one in. Again, I tried to utilize things that are in the nearby vicinity. And I think because Covenant becomes... it's a two-part settlement, really. Technically, you've got... they have access to the compound over there, so there'd be what is essentially Vault technology. And make that almost as big as the actual platform itself. And I figure by doing that, then that should do all directions. Welcome to Covenant. Boom. Honestly, okay, the birds that fly around this settlement drive me insane. I've already scrapped one of them. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing, but it's fine when they're just floating around like this. They'll derp out every now and then. Yeah, minions still be tracking us. It's fine. Right, that's 6 defense. I don't really want to do another one on the other side. It'd be symmetrical. But I also think it would be overkill to have them that close. We still have this hatch in. Have the guard desks as well. Let me in here and have a look at those. Yeah, I mean, I could replace that, but this computer's needed. I need to... Well, I mean, one, they'll probably start coming naturally anyway when we have the Brahmin baths, when I start getting settlers, but I need to find a mod that allows me to place Brahmins and other animals. If I can, I'll replace this desk. With that. Could just open the door, that would be a very much easier way to do it. There we go, and all the stuff stays on the desk. Very good. I'm hoping that didn't derp out. Got extra security desk, that's in. Yeah, if we get one that places Brahmin. Fantastic. Place 2 or 3 in there. 2 or 3, 1 or 2, whatever. It goes. Traders welcome. Traders derping around out here. Caravan post is kind of getting in the way a little bit, but I mean, there's only so much you can do with the NPC pathing. I should probably give these... there should be a few more seats out here, really. What's the dog doing? The bench is fit. Just so they don't... Like, I assume they would go and sit on them. Please. Yeah, there we go. He sat down on it, so he's now... I mean, they'll still do it a little bit, but he stopped just derping into the wall. I've given him something to do. The dog, however. I'm in a dump. Alright, so defense is up to 10 straight away. That's without assigning guards, so it'd be 2, 2, 2. I think the desk is a 2 as well. Again, we're not really covered around the back, but it doesn't really matter all that much. It'd be worth getting a turret up at the back. Back at its house. Let's do that. Like I said, I don't want to put too many turrets down, but just 1 or 2. Let's see if I can make this look good. In fact, isn't the one that's like 3? Just flat. Get the boards. Wow, could that be any more out? Get out of here. I want to put the small turret stand to be like right here. And I'll probably do a standard turret for this one. Wall board might be better here. This top bit. Oh my god, game, please. Oh no. Move the house a little bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure there'll be no issues with that whatsoever. wallboard at the back. Let me just check that. I think I maybe knocked a couple of things over. But in terms of the placements, I think it's all fine. Out in the middle. Go for one of these. Size down a little bit. And get that in there like that. That should cover like what? Go above it. Like this whole area. I don't know where this settlement gets attacked from. The outhouse for guards. Missed that comment. It is indeed. It's just a little sheltered area for them to stand in against the elements. Also faces the entrance to this place. I'm gonna shrink this down one more. Right, what are we gonna do with this little area then? We could have an impromptu guard post here. That covers this side as well. Get rid of any of those bushes. Oh, the raised guard post maybe? Is that still available? And built in between. Works because the shack roof's there. The height is about right. We got full view of this side. And see that whole building. Also see what's coming down the road. We'll see all the way down here. Okay, we have another defensive position. I'll probably get a little pathway down to that as well. Decorations, lights. Lamppost is a little too nice. I want the hanging one. Maybe like here so the guard can see and get it. Have it this way. Then we'll tack it onto the side of the tree. Front supports, do free place. Free place of vertical only, we'll do columns and beams. Smaller than that. These tacked onto this. I think it looks the better. Have that hanging from there. And if we can get one of these to fit in, all the more better. There we go. Right at night time there. Okay, because we put that there, we need pathway to it. How it just evolves and we add bits in. So that'll probably... What's going to be the best way to do this? This again dips down, and we've got this little raised bit. Way down side of this house. If we go to the level that this already is, that snap. The knock snapping was off. Now, if this has been generous, it won't fit through here too much, if at all. Doesn't matter. Even better. Snapping off for the rest of this. A little stair to that bit, maybe. Snapping on. Snapping off. Go, the walkway goes on the side of the house. Goes around, gets to there. It's little things like the fact that we'll stick this in, we'll then path around to it to connect up to the existing path. And then we realize that we've then got this little segment in. So back of the house, to the Brahmin fence, to the hedge, to this. So we've got a whole little zone that we can do stuff with there. Got a huge space around the side of this that we can do stuff with. We don't just want to slap things down any old way. We're going to wait until we need something. And then make sure that there's an appropriate space for it. Do you think if we bury it into the ground here, we'd find treasure? And again, if we're going to do something around there, again, naturally the path would probably follow around. Would probably join it up. Again, I won't rush into it, but that's now open for us to put something down there. Trying to think what to do with these inner bits, because I mean, you usually put down crops. Try not to just default to that. I know we had the option in CVC for just standard plants. Maybe we do a little bit more of that sort of stuff. And foremost, get these down. It's looking a little bit more overgrown. So it's flat textures. Instantly better. We can do some grass around the tree. A little bit there already, but we can do a little more. Go over to the top of those. in the sort of corner areas. Can't even see those. A lot more tufty bits. Leave this sort of area clear because of the whole butcher counter thing there. Make some boys. Rest of the grass is fine. So yeah, we have plants unpicked and then just plants. Okay, that's more blocking stuff. Don't want ferns, don't need bulrushes. Yeah, more shrubs and like free-wall plants made here. Hood plank could work. Beach grass. Shrub. Marsh shrub. Any of the Forsythia ones. We'll bramble in. Again around the tree. Boys. More bramble. This. Mint fruits, ferns, believe, don't want any of this. We'll get some carrot flowers in. Oh, CVC garden thing as well. Put that in. Lifts. Those around, they're a little too big. And I'll probably do a similar sort of thing here. And speaking of this area, I'll just jump back and forth. Decent burgers aren't good for your insides, but stuff's so good. Yeah, I mean, everything like that in moderation, you know that. You know how it is, and the fact that we're now old. Right, so walk in, sort of open area. Might fence off a little bit of this. You go from like sort of internal compound bit, place where you put your Brahmin in, and you go up to this, and then you can go the other houses that are around here. I think fence-wise, I won't do it with the big cross-beam ones. I'm kind of tempted to go for the farmer ones so that it also blends in with this that we put down. So if I can find those again. Yeah, just like this. These don't snap. Kind of annoying. Like, I don't know how hard it is to make things like this snap, but, you know, it's kind of annoying that they don't. Post on the outside of the inside. Probably on the inside. Yeah, it would make it a hell of a lot easier if it did. That might be perfect. That is perfect. A little floaty with this one. And then properly. Right, let me move this, I don't know. Prep station here. Needs to not be there. And over here. Probably to here. Different types. There we go. Very good. Got to keep alternating. We got like a real small bit that isn't the gate. Gate. Or am I just gonna have to close it in this way? I might just have to close it in this way. It's actually, so add, let's put it there. There we go. Okay, those crates and stuff can remain there. We'll put something else in there though, as well. Right, so gate to get into there. Come up your stairwell here, which leads you into the settlement. Houses. I said I'm going to keep a lot of stuff in the houses the same. I may just add different beds. You then got your pathway straight to the old shop. A little bit. The old shop. Tempted to put another gate in this sort of area. For those that want direct access to the shop. How big is the gate? What way do I need it? It'll open inwards that way. So I want it out this way. After all that, we're probably going to change this bit anyway. Well. Yeah, I mean, there's a little gap there. Maybe just a couple of the standard posts. And then some boxes around. Let's make sure the gate opens correctly. I kind of wish it had opened the other way. But then it's going to be on the inside. You know, from left to right. Oh, auto closes, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But there we go. Now that we have vents in. Cut grass and leaves again. Edge of these. Wouldn't be any underneath that bit, 'cause that's where people are walk in. I'm going to say there wouldn't be much near the Brahmin things. Pumping it a little bit. Different amounts. A little bit up. A little bit down. Just have that edge covered in. And then I don't mind the texture here being so flat, because this will be like the most walked area. Have a look from up top. So yeah, you can enter that bit straight away, or if you just want to go straight to the shop, you got fence there. Now in action. Let's do that. You're in. We can go around to this. So I feel like the space here is too small and unnecessarily needing the same sort of fence. But you've got your telephone pole here and then just like nothing underneath. So it's going to be prime real estate for some either boxes or some more overgrowth. Because again, it's just flat at the minute. In and out where we are. I think we can do a couple of things. Yeah. A little bit more of the rock stuff in. Looking for the ground just a little bit. Spread that across here. And plant some picks. Plants actually, not plant some picks. Hit the plants. Yeah, bramble. This one quite low. At the bottom of there. There we go. That's that bit done. We've got the small bramble for the top bit. There we go, much better. Is there anything else we can put in this little internal bit? Doesn't need it. You have your access point. Brahmin's in there. Straight to the shop that way. Secondary access if you need it to get around the here. Butchery thing in the middle. I think that central area can stay as is. Maybe some CVC deco stuff. Bramble. Got that bit up with brambles. Figure out what we're doing down that bit. Maybe an outhouse. As to where that is, I have no idea. Refabs, maybe. Or nope. Nope. Yeah, a little outhouse around the back of that. So yeah, it worked quite well. So I might need some help with some ideas for the other bits. So this internal area, I'm just going to put more plants and the like in. Whole thing. We have... Line off. We have garden plot 1. We have technically garden plot 2. I'd say all the way around to this. Then garden plot 3. We'll need a little bit of the working stuff. So, not necessarily working guards, but ones where people will work at. Standard workstations, stuff like that. Scavenging station needs to be put in. I feel like that could stay in this first area. Be there to sort of tie that area together. Sign, please. We should get the bell in. I don't add this into every settlement. We should definitely get it for this one. I feel like it's really appropriate. What do we ring to? Maybe if we attach it to this. Maybe a little lower than that. The siren alerts nearby settlers to danger when triggered. Probably won't put that in. That stuff's not needed. Okay, crafting benches. I haven't really put many of these in other settlements. We'll put ones in that seem appropriate for the location. So, got a whole extra amount of these. And again, working on the fact that we have a trader and a doctor here. We won't have medical weapon stuff even. Firearms, no. Paintings are no. That's too futuristic. Cooking station we could get in. This little side cooking stuff. Not necessarily put it onto this because they're going to sit near it, but be on the inside. Or would it be being done on the outside more by the guards? Maybe cooking spit here. Got the fish prep station to this area, so maybe not. Yeah, I think I'd probably prefer the one that's the spit. So, we pop that here. I think this back area over here could be more sort of a recreational area for the settlers. So as I find items that I think will be useful for that, I'll stick them over here. Cages Raider, CVC. Miscellaneous. Crates and barrels. Any of that? Nautical, maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. More fish stuff. Yeah, we need to get a fire. I'll get onto that in a second. You go ahead and throw a couple of these down here. Don't think we'll be doing any crabbing there. Fish dry racks. Probably around here. Beaming down from the sun is either dry racks or these. Probably these. Kind of more flat area. I really want to have to do it onto this. Guess as long as the beams aren't floating off the edge. Yeah, come down, do a little fishing, dry fish off there. These fish are nasty. That's recreation, there we go. So it's mainly park stuff. Have a vibe with that. We'll get one of picnic grills in. Two of those. And that's it for that. Really? That's it? Get rid of those. So what would we have? Like cooking in the middle and just like a load of seating around the edge. Should I make some decking here rather than just straight into the garbage? Get rid of the treasure marker. Oh, it smells great, Erky. Not really vibing with anything there. I don't know if it needs to be wood. Something else I can roll with. Maybe with the sheet metal of the roots. Maybe this sort of stuff. I'm eating grilled hot dogs. Not vibing with that. At all. Let's get a campfire in. So I get this as like the main focal point for this and then build around it. That one, or that one. Let's go for this one. Again, little mound there is going to make things a little awkward. Raise that up. It's actually just garbage. Wow. Anything I need to match the level of stuff here to that so we can hide that. Or find something that allows me to hide it so it's not just garbage. And my go-to for something like that would be back over in CBC. Specifically trees and maybe rocks. So let's change the big old pile of garbage here into a little rock mound area. Infinitely better straight away. There we go. So that's now there. I can't do anything about that, but it looks better than garbage. So, with that in mind, and for the fact this whole area is very flat, I will do what would equate to decking around the side of the house. And then we have that there to split in between, so we're naturally going to end up, a pathway to the guard area in between that's going to be more rocks, trees, and shrubs, and probably a pathway down here to a raised area. Where we'll have the cooking thing. So we'll go for 2 tier 1 here. Is that... Do I want those wood planks or... I want the wooden factory ones if we can find them. I think this one looks better. For more of an outdoor wood one. This would also work, the balcony ends. Can I get that to work for the whole thing? Not with the pieces that I have, but... Get rid of those if we're covering this area up. Other side of the house. Snap on. There's gonna be the best way to do it. We want this. And the big pieces. Let me slap these down very quickly. And they don't go through. Very good. Far back we want to go. That might be a little too far. So where's double single? There we go. Might have to use a different campfire. But I think that'll probably be enough. We then look at outer bits. I think I had this issue before. This does not snap how you think it will snap. So... that then leaves one gap. So if I were to use my big brain... that in there like that. And I'll have to jimmy these around a little bit. Is that now going to snap there? Is a genius. It goes half, and then it goes 3/4 over this bit. What a terrible what a terrible piece. Okay, let's get rid of this. And it doesn't even snap to itself. What is this? What is this asset? We may just have to place this one in manually and fill in the gaps. Let's do that. Let's get it in manually. So that is the basis, and then we'll connect that into this, and then we can fill out the rest. Terrible. Got that one to snap. We're doing that wacky thing. There we go. Two. This one I will use. Wood floors. I want the one with a load of panels. Nope. Yeah, we'll get you to snap there and I'll just move it. Okay, well, let's get rid of the campfire and spit for now. We're cooking stuff here, but it may be the animated ones. This needs supports. Let's go for the large. Snapping was on. Okay. Okay, we are not snapping anywhere where I want you to snap, so let's these manually. Little raised area. Supports for that bit. One again for that. Yeah. A little bit. There we go. Little raised deck area. Connects to it. I want that piece really. I hate how like bowed that is. Go for a couple of these. Oh my god, those placements. Which is again. Not that, but just the one. I need an extra plank there? Probably not. Go in with a little board like this. add in the additional railings on. Not too much. That could be a little too much. Let me move these across a little bit. And nicely. The boards here are the exact same, so we need a floorboard. Maybe yes, Urky, maybe no. A lot of stuff going on, so... Maybe yes, maybe no. If there are more streams today, okay, it'll be more of this. And if there is more streams, it'll probably be around the usual time, if not maybe a little bit later. There we go, a couple of extra boards there just to like make it look the same pattern. We need stairs. Asking if you need to speed up your sauna schedule. Yeah, it's Saturday, right? Yeah. I mean, don't change your stuff around my stream, Urky. I appreciate that. Supporting for that bit. Got a stair to get up this way. This bit needs a little bit of a railing, nothing too crazy. Yeah, would that fit? That work? Yeah, that works. Feeds into the other bit quite nicely as well. Then would I have this as just another way out? Get to the back of the house so it doubles up. Makes sense to me. Just put that there as potential for whatever we're going to end up doing down the back. We need to change the game hour. We need to throw a save. And then having a look at this. Ew. Right, it's down to the side of the house, little raised area. It's going to be more for recreational stuff. I don't know if we can do the campfire at the bottom. I don't know if a campfire on top of wood is a good idea. We definitely need some kind of cooking thing there. Decorational. We had the whole stuff that we put down where there's like barbecues. That would work. And there's like animated ones. Not even animated ones. Ones that are full. Potentially in kitchen stuff. No. I don't have to go all the way to Starlight to find out what the thing is. Also a Minuteman flag. We need to get that in there, guard tower. Yeah, guard tower makes sense. while we're here. I've also just found the outhouse that I was looking for, so... slap 2 of these down, but... one's fine. Probably a little further back as well. Don't want the metal. Probably just check. Get that in there while we're here. Okay, we've got Looker's external office. I don't know where the barbecues are. Well, we got the table and the light, so we get this in. And when I find the barbecue, we can stick that in. These ones have stuff on the table. I'd rather do that and set my own chairs. Although, I could do that and then just stick one more in. Let's do that. So I think one more chair here, facing inwards, and then we can have 1 or 2 barbecues maybe slapped over in the corner. Probably this one. What else we got in here? Like, colored garden and stuff. We can use a lot of this. Fine. So, where all the barrels were, that's why I couldn't find them earlier. Stuff. Yeah, tables, grills, 2 cases of beer. Sounds like a good time. Shelves. There's all the booze. There we go. More booze. Right, so yeah, when I can find it, I'll get a barbecue up in that bit. And I think that bit's sorted. Utilizes this space quite well. We need decorational stuff in between. Effects, we don't really need any of those. Clothesline stuff, I probably should get some of this in. Probably here. On the back of the house. Get it so it's part of this fence. Careful with this. And I wish it was just a little bit longer. Let me move it across as far as I can. There we go. Snapping on, off. My dress. Look like jeans. There we go, out drying it, sun. Probably end up smelling of the food. A diagram, I don't know where that's from. We're getting real detailed. Household, what do we got there? Dead stuff, dead trash. Dead robot, dead household. No. Garbage. I'll make a table. Get some decorational stuff in there. Wants to be like slightly on top of that. Oh, we're gonna be going over the top. Alright, let me go to the main entrance where the doggo is. And we'll throw a save. Yeah, there's little action figures. They're just like really scaled down versions of the different enemies and the like. I may or may not be putting those in every settlement and hiding them for people to find. Maybe. Double check the save there. Right, I'm going to leave it there for now. We had the grill all along. Good progress today on Covenant. Like I said, I think now is the time that we're going to start hitting some of the settlements up and detailing them. Because we've done a lot of the groundwork to a lot of them. So more of this in the next episode. So as usual, have enjoyed. You drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Do check the links down in the video description as always if you're looking to support the channel. Any and all support is appreciated. When all said and done, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.